All right, y'all, what's good? So, today is September 11th. I've been waiting for months to wear this shirt, my All Buildings Matter shirt. Y'all peep it out. I'm definitely going to be walking around places. Um, maybe if I can, maybe even I would get some reaction. You know what I'm saying? Because this is definitely a military town, and I'm not trying to so much disrespect anybody. So maybe I should let y'all know where I was on September 11, 2001. Um, I was in eighth grade. I was 13 years old, maybe 14. I don't remember, but 13 or 14 years old. And second period U.S. history class, or American history. I think that's what it was called. But anyway, I was in that class and we were all watching the news, and it was something we did in that class like every morning. We watched the news from some network that the school district thought would be cool for kids to watch. I think it was like a teenage news network, something like that. So, oh yeah. So, I thought it would be just a regular school day, just get done watching the news. It was like maybe a 30-minute program, and then, we'd go about our lesson for the day or whatever. But that 30-minute news program turned into a whole hour, like the whole class period, basically. We sat and watched, what was going on in New York. And me and my classmates, we watched the second plane fly into the tower on TV with everybody else. And I can remember I was shook. I'm not gonna lie, man, I was shook because that was the first time that I had really, really saw violence like that on TV. I didn't watch the news too much, of course, except for, what that daily thing that we watched in class. But it, it was a teenage news network, y'all. It wasn't like the news is now, and probably back then it might not have been as saturated with violence and whatnot, but like I said, I had never watched the news like that in that day. And this was probably even before I probably knew about the Grand Theft Auto series, and it's a whole bunch of stuff going on in that game. But it just, I can remember being afraid, and then not only just afraid because, like, oh my God, all those people, but oh my God, are we going to war? Is it gonna be here? I stay in a town next to a military base. I stayed right by Fort Hood. Fort Hood is it's like one of the biggest military bases in the world. And that was something that was thought about. Like, man, what if, what's gonna happen? That's basically what was had me so shook, is basically the uncertainty. And I don't I'm not trying to take away from anybody who has lost family members, or what I'm saying, stuff like that really grieve for this day. I'm not trying to take away from that. I just want to bring attention to how people sound when someone is trying to highlight a certain aspect of something going on in a community by saying Black Lives Matter when they say all lives matter, or blue lives matter. Blue lives aren't a thing, by the way. They're cartoon characters, movie characters, basically fiction is what I'm saying. There is no race of people with blue skin. So I'm not trying to disrespect anyone. I just want to bring attention in my way to the fact that when people say stuff like all lives matter as a response to Black Lives Matter, you are taking away from the meaning of the saying. You are basically downplaying and denigrating it. You're trying to make it less than what it is. And as a black person, and I'm also Puerto Rican, so I'm like double black, Afro Latina. But as a person of color, as a black person who has experienced racism, like not just you know what I'm saying, not online or in a video game or nothing like that. In real life, I have experienced racism. At a job I used to work at, there was a customer that came in. He wouldn't speak to me or to other employees because we were black. He just stood there and looked through us until my white manager came up, and then he got all animated. I was racially profiled in a store. Twin Liquors. I don't shop there anymore personally because I was racially profiled. Me and my friends were. And the friends that I was with at the time, they worked at banks. They were bankers. They had good jobs. So I'm not understanding. And they didn't look like they were going to be stealing. And I had a hoodie and jeans on. So if that is enough to make it seem like somebody's going to steal and you need to follow them through the store, that's where we are in America. And as far as people not wanting to associate with the Black Lives Matter movement because of a lot of the stuff that they hear on the news and the TV, and even on social media. 98% of the Black Lives Matter protests have been peaceful. 98%. But they're not going to show you that. And I can attest to that fact because I have led a peaceful Black Lives Matter protest myself. But nobody's going to show that on the news or social media because they want division. So at this point in time, I'm pretty sure people have explained what Black Lives Matter means. I'm not going to get into it. I'm not. Because as many times as it's been explained, and as many times as people have said it and the reasons that we are doing it, if for any other reason you choose to not follow this movement, it's because you're racist. Plain and simple. It's because you're racist. It's not, you can't bring up, oh, black on black. Nobody says anything about when white people kill white people. There's no such thing as white on white crime, and white people kill more white people than anybody. No one says that about that. But as soon as you get to saying, oh, Black Lives Matter, oh, well, what about black on black crime? Listen, there are organizations geared to combat violence in local communities. All right? Matter of fact, I have a cousin out here that is in charge of one of those organizations. So I know they exist. And especially if it's one here in little bitty Killeen, then I know there are some other places. You just choose to ignore it. You choose to ignore it because it makes you feel uncomfortable to talk about race relations and stuff like that. Black people should not be protesting the same things and saying the same things that they have said since the 60s. And that's another thing I'd like to bring up. Y'all keep telling, like today, 19 years ago, y'all. 19 years ago, them two planes smacked into this building, into the Twin Towers. And there was so much patriotism and togetherness, and America's the greatest. It was 19 years ago. I'm still alive. So we say never forget. But when people bring up stuff like segregation, redlining, Jim Crow laws, slavery, oh, it was in the past. It was in the past. Forget about it. My grandmother is still alive. My mom was born in 65. It's not the past. It is very, very recent. So today, I understand the meaning of today. But until we as a country can come together for the same reason that we came together on 9/11, then this day is just another day to me. All buildings matter. If all lives matter is the thing for you, all buildings matter today. If blue lives matter is the thing for you, all buildings matter today. Anytime that we're celebrating anything, 4th of July, all countries matter. Thanksgiving, all holidays matter. Christmas, all holidays matter. If we can't single out, if we can't bring attention to what black people are going through in this country, then why are we bringing attention to everything else? Why are we never forgetting anything else? No one tells the people who have lived through the Holocaust or any Holocaust survivors, no one tells them to forget about it. Oh, it's in the past. I have never heard anybody say that about a Jewish person. But as soon as black people keep bringing up the injustices that they face and the discrimination and different policies that are going on, oh, you're playing the race card, or, oh, that was so long ago, it's in the past. No, man. We got to stop that. I understand that all lives matter, except for pedophiles and rapists. I understand that. Every life is sacred. But if we can't draw attention to the burning building that is the black community and what they face in their struggles living in America, then we're not American. In my opinion, the black community needs help. We need help, and people are trying to help change things. And the only people that are fighting against this change are the people who want it to stay the same. Nobody wants that. White people are tired of racism. I know they are. I have a bunch of white friends that are with me on this fight. A bunch of them. Because they are tired of it. So I know if white people are tired of ignorant white people, because that's what racism is. It is ignorance. It is you choosing not to acknowledge someone's experiences because it doesn't happen to you. Just because something doesn't happen to you doesn't mean it doesn't exist. There are people going hungry right now. I'm not hungry. I don't look hungry. Well, I don't look like I'm going hungry. I probably look hungry, though. But there are people that are going hungry right now. Starving people. Are you going to say it doesn't exist? Are you going to say people starving doesn't exist because you have food in your refrigerator? There are homeless people right now. Are you going to say there are no homeless people because you have somewhere to live? It doesn't make sense. So, just because you haven't experienced something that a black person has, it doesn't mean it's not true. There are so many people, yo. I'm tired of hashtagging names. I am. I'm tired of being angry that people are doing stuff to people that look like me strictly based on skin color and getting away with it. I am tired of the police not being held accountable for their actions. I'm tired of the government not being held accountable for their actions. I am tired of rich people not being held accountable for their actions. Why do we have rules if only a few people have to follow them? That doesn't make sense either. Why are we okay with this version of America? I'm not okay with this. So I'm going to do what I need to do to make it okay. And whatever I can do, I will do it. And if it takes me walking around today with an All Buildings Matter shirt on and making people uncomfortable and angry, then I'm going to do that. If it takes me opening my mouth every chance I get about the injustices, about how it took them months for Breonna Taylor's killers to even be considered if they did something wrong, because that's where we're at right now. These people went in this woman's house, didn't announce themselves. I don't know about y'all. I live in Texas. Everybody has guns here. If you go into somebody's house unannounced, you're probably going to get shot. Doesn't matter who you are. So these people went into this woman's house unannounced, looking for somebody that they already had in custody, and basically had a firefight and killed her. And they're just now considering, oh, well, let's take it to the grand jury and see if they want to file charges. That doesn't make any sense. None of this makes sense. And I feel like a lot of people will agree with me. A lot of stuff going on in America does not make sense. And we got here because we allowed it. We allowed all this to happen. All of that is over now. Everything is over. It's 2020. Racism is dead. I'm going to do my part to make sure. I sincerely hope that I'm the last generation that has to fight this fight. I don't want my nephews to grow up and having to go through the same thing that I'm going through. I don't want that. Do y'all want that for your kids? All buildings matter, y'all. All holidays matter. All countries matter. Until we can acknowledge the fact that Black lives matter, all countries matter. All buildings matter. All holidays matter. America needs to do better. And if you are uncomfortable talking about racism, it's probably because you're racist. That's it. I can go right now. I can grab a white friend of mine right now. We can have a whole discussion on racism. They're not uncomfortable. You know why? Because they're not racist. And they understand that this country treats black people different. Have y'all seen that Jane Elliott experiment? That old white lady that be doing them, that be talking about racism all the time. When she was in a whole room full of white people and she asked them, would they like to be treated how black people are treated in America? Raise your hand. And no one moved. Y'all know it's an issue. Y'all know it's a problem. But y'all don't want to do anything about it because y'all like how this system is right now. And if you are complicit in the white supremacist system that is the American government, you are part of the problem. I don't care who you are. You know that people of color are treated different in the United States, and you know it's wrong, but as long as it's not happening to you, it's okay. So, do better. Do better, America. For real. Y'all share this video if y'all want. If you don't, that's cool. I'm really surprised anybody even watched it this long. 20 minutes of me ranting. But I got blocked on Facebook for saying all buildings matter, I guess, or something. I don't know what happened. I got blocked for bullying. So I had to get my sister to post this for me. I'm tagging myself. And if I get some good reactions today from, walking around with this shirt on, I'll definitely record them and post them on my girl's page or something. So, yeah, man. All buildings matter. Today. Fuck 9/11. Since we can't seem to understand what people are saying when they say Black Lives Matter. Since there's 1,000,001 excuses as to why you can't support this organization, or not the organization, but this movement, when it is simply saying that black people are not treated the same as white people in America. So, y'all be easy.